Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. My name is Emerson Bowie, B-U-I-E. I am the Special Agent in charge of the El Paso Division of the FBI. First and foremost, I'd like to say our hearts and minds are with the families and friends in the U.S. Border Patrol workforce as they maneuver this difficult time. I'd also like to introduce the agencies who are represented here with me today. First, Jose Luis Gonzalez, Division Chief, United States Attorney's Office, Western District of Texas. Sean Shavers, Deputy Executive Director of Investigation, Customs Border Protection, Office of Professional Responsibility. Victor Velasquez, Acting Chief Patrol Agent, Big Bend Sector, U.S. Border Patrol. Hector A. Mancha, Director, Field Operations, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, El Paso Field Office. Ray Provencio, Assistant Director of Field Operations, Office of Field Operations, Customs Border Protection. Orlando Alanis, Texas Department of Public Safety, Regional Director, El Paso Region. By way of background, on November 18, 2017, at approximately 11:20 p.m. Central Time, U.S. Border Patrol agents from the Van Horn Station in the Big Bend sector located 2 injured Border Patrol agents in a covert area adjacent to I-10, about 12 miles east of Van Horn. They provided the injured agents with immediate medical care and transported them to a local Van Horn hospital. Both agents sustained head injuries along with other miscellaneous physical injuries such as broken bones. At a local hospital in Van Horn, it was determined that both agents would be airlifted to hospitals here in El Paso, Texas. The FBI is the lead agency for this investigation of potential assault of a federal officer. We became the lead on November 19th. When the FBI suspects a member of federal law enforcement community has been a victim of a violent assault, the FBI is responsible for investigating that matter. We would also like to announce a reward of $25,000 for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of individuals or the individual involved in the death of U.S. Border Patrol Agent Rogelio Martinez. The FBI is also asking that anyone with any information about this tragic incident contact the FBI 24 hours a day at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Again, that's 1-800-CALL-FBI, which translates to 1-800-225-5324, or online at tips.fbi.gov. This is the most important investigation in the El Paso Division of the FBI. The FBI, along with our partners, federal, state, and local, will be aggressively investigating all leads coming in from the public with regard to this investigation that's ongoing. At this time, I'd like to hand the podium over to Mr. Velasquez. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I want to first thank the Federal Bureau of Investigations and especially Special Agent in Charge, Emerson Bowie. Thank you for inviting me here to speak to you today. This has been a sad week for our nation, for the CBP family, and specifically for the agents of the U.S. Border Patrol. Our Big Bend sector family is mourning after we lost one of our own, Agent Rogelio Martinez. Rogelio was 36 years old and was assigned to the Van Horn, Texas station. He entered on duty with the United States Border Patrol on August 12, 2013, as a member of Academy Class 1018. The death of Rogelio marks the 125th U.S. Border Patrol agent to have died in the line of duty. Agent Martinez is survived by his parents, Jose and Elvia, his brothers, Enrique and Miguel, his son, Sergio, his fiancée, Angie Ochoa, 3 stepchildren, Abby, Ariana, and Alex, and numerous nieces and nephews. Agent Martinez's hometown was here in El Paso. Another agent is currently hospitalized and is in critical but stable condition after being injured during this event. It's times like these that are the hardest for all the men and women of the U.S. Border Patrol. It is always hard when you lose a young and dedicated agent. The job of the Border Patrol is inherently dangerous. Our men and women deal with a constant presence of the unknown, ranging from those seeking illegal entry into the United States, smugglers of human cargo and or drugs, transnational criminal organizations, and the dangerous terrain. But there is always a constant: the men and women of the United States Border Patrol, protecting our borders. It is imperative that we remain strong and unified in our law enforcement community, as our law enforcement community works together to do our job and help protect our country with combined resources of training, intelligence, and the power of investigation. I believe these virtues will help us understand the circumstances that took Agent Martinez's life. Our law enforcement partners at the local, state, and federal level are also standing by to do their part to support us and assist with the investigation. As you know, the FBI's field office in El Paso is heading up this investigation, and we will continue to work with them to learn more about this tragic incident. I want to thank the members of our community and the American people for their kind words during this period. It means a lot to us. Thank you. Please join me in offering condolences to the family, the friends, and the co-workers of Border Patrol Agent Rogelio Martinez. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they cope with this loss. Thank you.
I would also like to recognize behind me, behind the podium, one of my assistant special agents in charge, Keith Byers, over my criminal branch, as well as recognize the assistance and cooperation and dedication of the Culberson County Sheriff's Department, who has also played a major role in this investigation to date, as well as Homeland Security Investigations and the Drug Enforcement Administration. At this time, I would also state that we've been out aggressively pursuing every lead that we have, as well as processing the scene, which we are considering a crime scene. We've canvassed the Van Horn area as well as Fort Stockton, as well as we've received assistance from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice with their bloodhounds, and also from the Department of Public Safety with other investigative matters surrounding the area in question. At this time, we'll attempt to field a couple of questions if you have them.
Agent Bowie, is the reward part of the Texas Crime Stoppers Award, or is this a separate award?
This is a separate reward. I believe Texas has put out a $20,000 reward, and this is in addition to a $25,000 being placed in effect by the FBI.
Agent Bowie, you've been, and the FBI has been very careful in your word choices and how you're categorizing this. There have been, the governor of Texas referred to this case as a murder. The president does refer to it as an attack, and others have used that language. Is that language premature, or how would you describe it?
Our purpose in our investigation is to do everything in our power to identify the facts as they're presented. Right now, again, we are investigating this matter as a potential assault on a federal officer, and we're trying to gather the facts, and if the facts support that, then we will pursue it legally. If they support that the incident was caused by something else, then we'll present that. So at this time, we are pursuing it as an assault on a federal officer primarily, and taking the steps to resolve it as such.
Agent Bowie, with this being so close to the I-10 corridor, is this going to turn into a national search?
Right now, again, we're following a number of leads. Where those leads take us, we will pursue them. The FBI does have the ability to request assistance from other countries and entities as needed through our legal attaché program, but again, the investigation is ongoing, and right now the investigation is focused in the area in question.
Hold
on, right here.
Chief Velasquez, there were questions as to whether or not a stone was used, and I understand if that's part of the investigation, you can't answer it, that's fine. But could you talk about, because there have been cases in the past where stones have been used against Border Patrol agents, separate from this one. Could you talk about how often stones are used against Border Patrol agents, and what type of training Border Patrol agents are given to protect themselves from stones?
I cannot give you specifics as to the statistics on the assaults on our agents, but I will ensure that the Office of Public Affairs provides those statistics to you. Thank you.
What type of training?
If an assault is one scenario of what happened, what is a possible other scenario?
There are a number of possible scenarios. However, in this instance, we're going to pursue the one that is most challenging and as it's presented to us, which is a potential assault on a federal officer. And as we collect the evidence, then the rest of the investigation will shape itself.
In Special Agent Bowie, the president has been among those who have said that he described it as a brutal attack. Is he correct?
I have not briefed the president, and for information regarding what information being provided to the president, I'll refer you to the Department of Justice, Office of Public Affairs.
Is there any update on the condition of the other agent that was hospitalized? Has he been upgraded, or is he still in critical but stable condition?
The agent still remains in critical but is stable and remains hospitalized.
Can he speak, or has there been any word from him whatsoever?
I think right
Is he in a
now,
coma, or?
I believe we just had the status of the agent, and I believe right now for us, well, our thoughts and prayers are with the agent for a speedy recovery, and we'll pursue any additional interviewing and questioning at an appropriate time.
Yes, as regards to policy and protocol, is it normal policy, or is there a policy about agents responding to a sensor or responding to distress by themselves or riding by themselves on patrol? And if so, will that policy might be changed after the fact?
The United States Border Patrol operates in many different environments. The Big Bend sector consists of 510 miles of border with Mexico. It is about a quarter of the southwest border. It is a very remote and rural environment, and we operate as we need to.
Why call it a potential assault and not an assault?
Just as in any investigation, we have to gather the facts and then present those to the United States Attorney's Office as to what we believe transpired. And that's the same approach we're taking right now with this investigation. So we call it potential because we do not have the full picture yet as to what transpired. But once we get closer to that, then we'll be able to present those facts to the U.S. Attorney's Office of the American public so that we can bring some closure to the family. Because right now, this is a difficult time for the family, and not just the family, but again, the friends the U.S. Border Patrol, and that's why we're aggressively pursuing this so that we can try and get some answers. One last question.
Border Patrol Union officials have described it as an ambush, a deliberate attack. Is there just, are you saying that there's just not clear evidence of that at the scene at this point? And did these agents fall into this culvert, do you know?
Right now, again, we're pursuing all investigative leads, and we are very methodically looking at all aspects of the investigation. And as I said, without speaking prematurely, hopefully we can find the answers that we need to appropriately describe it as it is. I'd like to thank you all for coming.
Are you also
Thank you very
pursuing
much.
the suggestion from the